have you brought in the studio with you?
Yes, I brought this book, not this book, this amazing book by Ta-Nehisi Coates, which is Between the World and I, which is in Dutch, Tussen de Wereld en mij. I think this book just changed my life in a sense. And I think it's part of the message that I would recommend everybody to read it. I would not, I cannot tell it as good as he does. It's a must read for actually every black person or their children or white people. And it's such a good read because the message that he gives is, to me at least,
Yeah.
that there is almost as I how I interpreted
Yeah.
it,
Perfect.
interpreted it,
Interpreted it.
is that there is the way forward is by the truth in a sense, and we have to tell ourselves and our children the truth about how we see ourselves, how we feel, how other people see us, and that needs to be very unapologetic. It's not going to be nice, but we need to face that. We need to face that. White people need to face that. Chinese people need to face that. But the truth is the only way forward. And it's so powerful because in this book he tells it's a one long letter to his son, and he tells about what his son can expect and how he experienced his youth. And I think as long as we are true to ourselves about how we want to move forward and what we want to change and how we see ourselves and others, there is hope in a sense.
What? Why'd you end it with that face? It was just perfect. Yeah. Anyway, that's part of you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get one question and get a little shot for social media. I think I forgot it on my camera. Let me think. What is the last thing I want to ask you? I don't want to miss anything, and I've gone through all my questions. I don't have any other questions, which is a real surprise because I really usually don't run out of questions. So, do you have a question, Leslie?
I do. Just speaking about him, has the Dutch ever talked about reparations, providing people reparations? Like he went to
Yeah.
fought in Congress about that. I'm
Yeah.
just curious.
They.
I'll just ask a
Oh.
She's
question.
an expert. Yeah.
That's the question.
Okay.
So, but then again, okay, in the Netherlands, is there a fight for what is it called?
Reparations.
Reparations. Is there in the Netherlands? Is there discussion around reparations and the government compensating those from the African or the Caribbean?
As far as I know, but I haven't been very deeply in it, so I might not be the right person to ask. As far as I know, there's been tons of discussions about this, and a lot of people already, I think, since the 60s, who are actively involved in trying to make it happen. Until today, it never happened. I think the biggest thing that happened, I think, was that the Queen once said that she was sorry or something. That was, but let's not even talk about money or anything, compensation, anything, making people's life easier, anything. No, no. But there are from active groups or activist groups a lot of initiatives to try to get it. But as far as I know, it never did.
I think the whole society would have to kind of accept that slavery happened and it had an impact probably.
But can you imagine people? Because that's the part of the problem. The moment people start to admit that it happened, and the moment started people, then we're first gonna see white fragility or what was it? They're gonna, oh my God, did my grandparents did that? I feel so sorry. I love you. I have so many black friends. All that story is gonna happen, but the consequences of admitting it is a coin, because then once you admit it, you do have to start paying. And nobody wants to do that. No government is willing, as far as I know, to pay for that. So then they just are in denial. It happened, but it wasn't that bad. It was different times.
You know, the interesting thing is that the slave owners got compensated when
It's, I mean, the reality is always much more uglier than you can imagine. The reality is like, no, not. What? Yeah. like that. Yeah, it's crazy. They got compensated, I believe, for the first 10 years, and the people needed to work on the plantation for an
Yes.
extra 10 years
That's
so
right.
that they had a
Yeah.
transition period. People died. I mean, it's
Hmm.
I cannot comprehend.
So, actually, I wanted to talk about the roles you're in at the moment. Maybe you can share what you're up to at the moment, because maybe in 10 years you're going to check this out, like, oh, that's what I was doing.
Oh, I was
So,
doing that. I look
what
so
do you,
pretty at them.
yeah, exactly. What are
Yeah.
you doing right now? What are you in? And should we check it out?
The main thing I'm in right now is a play that's a co-production between a Belgium company, the KVS, and the company in Groningen, and we're making a piece about Winnie Mandela with 9 amazing, well, I'm one of these 9, but singers, actresses, theater performers, dancers, and we're gonna start opening at the end of November, and it's a piece made by a half Belgian, half South African director, and his father used to be an ANC
ANC activist or
activist,
something?
yeah, and he fled South Africa, I think in don't really know exactly when, but then started a new life in Belgium, and he's the son of that, so he's very passionate about making this piece, and I'm very passionate about making this piece because we're going to sort of tell the story of Vinnie, but tell the story almost of a female black warrior, female black activist, freedom fighter, a woman with a voice, not willing to bow down for nobody. She is fire, and I think we are gonna pay our respect to her with this piece. I mean, there's so much said about Winnie Mandela, and people should actually not do that, but I think enough bad stuff has been said, and it's now time to say what's also true about her, and that is that she is maybe with a handful of people responsible for the abolition of apartheid. I mean, in a sense, she fought till the end as a black woman. That is. So that's what I'm working on, and I'm in a TV series, and that's just light. It's bubbly. So that's why I said in the interview, I always sort of try to. There are things you do for the paycheck, and just because it's fun and light, and then there's where you contribute as well as a great project and artistically interesting, but also contribute to the struggle in a sense. The struggle sounds too negative, but representation to changing the narrative, and that's definitely that Winnie Mandela piece. And I feel so blessed to be in. I feel so blessed to be on stage with. I tell you, it never happened in my career ever to be on stage with 8 other black women. Can you imagine? No, but that's really weird because I don't think white people
No,
ever
yeah,
even
it's
ask
crazy.
themselves that
Yeah.
question. Like they've always just been.
Yeah.
This is the first time in my career, and I'm 39, and I feel so blessed, inspired. It's powerful. I tell you, it's powerful. And these characters, it's bliss, bliss, bliss. And then this other thing is like light drama. It's gonna be on TV. But I have to say, I do play just a regular black person, which is so weird. A regular black person, but I actually get pregnant. I have regular, normal human problems that every human goes through. So for that, I love the project. So I'm not in this. They didn't make anything out of my the way I look. I'm just a girl who's part of a group of friends who lives in Amsterdam, who has black parents. She's not adopted, and she gets pregnant. So
You mentioned something about if you had more shows with Black Dutch artists, performers, how would it be? Like, if it was constant, and would the white audience be able to be attracted to it and watch it with the same kind of openness that black people do white content? I think actually, in a weird way, they'd love it, but they'd hate it at the same time. It's like black music is the most popular music in the world globally. Hip hop is the biggest seller. It took a while. MTV didn't show any black content, and then put Michael Jackson on there, and then they had UMTV Raps, and then like everything kind of started progressing. It's about the money, of course, but I do believe that there's a fear that it will be taken over. So keep it limited. One person.
Listen, this is the thing. If they see you can make money on it, before you know, they're gonna tell you that they invented this whole thing. So this is all.
But did you know Friends? Like for example, you know Friends, the series Friends,
Yeah.
right? Living Single was the black version of that. That came before Friends.
Was it?
The whole idea of adults living together in the city, blah blah.
Because it's kind of a
whole
series where I'm
format
in
was
right now.
Made white.
No.
Yes,
They stole the
I can
concept.
give you a lot of those stories.
But this is exactly what I'm telling you. Once they see money in it, they're gonna tell you they invented it, and they're gonna make it big, not because they are more talented, but they have more space.
If there's more than 2 or 3 black people in the frame,
it's frightening to them.
It's beautiful. I mean, they're already eyes like, so they cannot have more than one. It's just too much. It's just too much beauty. It's too much. That's how I feel about it. Seriously.
No, but I also think that to a lot of people, it's just too frightening.
Please like and subscribe. Shout out Hues Films.